Meanwhile, environmentalists and clean energy advocates are urging the U.S. Senate to pass a bill to cut the release of emissions that cause global warming. The bill already passed the House with the help of 3 Republican New Jersey congressmen. Environment correspondent Ed Rogers has that story.
Crews at the Sun Farm Network warehouse are busy these days. The company installs solar power systems for homes and businesses. Supporters of a clean energy bill that passed the House last week say it will create millions of green-collar jobs.
Folks sometimes say, you know, government shouldn't pick winners and losers when it comes to technologies. The truth is we've always picked winners and losers, in some ways that have been more obvious, in some ways that haven't been so obvious. Now we're really doing this in the day of light, in the bold sunshine, if you will, to really figure out what makes sense to power us in a sustainable fashion moving forward.
All 8 New Jersey Democratic congressmen and Republicans Leonard Lance, Frank Lo-Biondo, and Chris Smith voted to support the measure last Friday. The bill was approved by the entire House by only a 7-vote margin. It requires the country to cut greenhouse gas emissions 83% by 2050. Opponents say it could increase energy costs and force some businesses to leave the country. Environmentalists released a report today based on U.S. Energy Department data criticizing the continued use of fossil fuels and called for quick Senate passage.
Right now, New Jerseyans will spend as much as $3,000 per person per year on fossil fuels. That number is expected to increase by 60% by 2030 to over $5,000.
The Senate will soon start crafting its own climate bill. A spokesperson for Senator Bob Menendez said he will decide his vote when he sees that version. Speaking at an event today marking the awarding of energy block grants to the city of Trenton, the senator said energy efficiency was not only an economic issue.
Our children's futures depends on stopping the carbon pollution that threatens our planet, and our national security depends on untying ourselves from the liquid leash of oil that petro-dictators have around our necks.
Meanwhile, a bill that would allow communities of up to 200 homes to get their power from solar arrays like this one awaits action in the legislature. Supporters hope to get it approved in the lame duck session next fall. Assemblyman Upendra Shivakula is the sponsor of the bill and says a number of details still need to be resolved, such as reimbursing utilities for the use of their transmission lines.
Anytime you have a change is scary because, you know, you're moving from something you already know to something unknown. So we have to work out and do that proper awareness and education training.
Ed Rogers, NJN News, Lebanon Township.